Said I definitely should have been more communicative. For sure, honey. Really, queen.
Really, queen?
Hey, Leroy Fair here. Welcome back to a brand new story time video on my channel. Today I'm going to be telling the story of my first gay kiss. So what we're going to do is we're going to split this into two parts. We're going to have the before my first gay kiss, which if you haven't seen that video, you need to go watch it. It's important. And then we're going to do a video of after the first gay kiss. This is going to be a complete mess. I haven't thought about how I'm going to do this. I'm just going to get straight on freaking into this and spill all the tea. So prepare yourselves. Okay. I met this guy online. He lived in New York City, the place of my dreams, and he was really nice. He was really awesome. We talked a lot. I was 18, 19 when we first started talking. We talked really often, brief breaks, and then we'd talk often again. It was just kind of that relationship. He kept saying how much he thought I was hot and how attractive I was and how he wishes I lived there and how we'd hug and have the best time when we finally met. Anyways, this went on for about 6 months. We talked like this. It was very much me being like, oh my gosh, I really like you. You're awesome to talk to. We talk about these things. We like make fun of each other a little bit. We say how much we like each other and what we like about each other. And then he actually said he loved me, okay? He said that! I was like, bitch! Okay? I did not say that back to him. I didn't say that. I didn't feel like it was something that could be said when we hadn't met or anything. He said that to me just casually in a conversation. I was like, okay, cool. I appreciate that because I really like you. I think you're really hot, but like, I didn't think this was something that would actually happen. So he said that. I was like, whoa. But we just carried on as normal. So I wasn't out to anyone when I first started talking to him. So he was the person I'd confided in most at that point. And talking to him about everything. I talked to him about all the stuff that I couldn't talk to anyone else about. And then I decided just one day that I needed to tell my best friend and I needed to come out to her. And he helped me through everything. He told me stories about how he'd struggled with coming out and he'd had to get drunk to come out. Well, basically drunk to come out to his best friend, and went through all of this, and he told me I was brave and I did it. And I told him I did it and I felt so proud of myself, and I was like so thankful that he helped me through it. And he was like, I'm so glad you did it. I'm so proud of you. You're so much braver than me. And all this rubbish. And at the time it meant a lot to me because obviously I hadn't told anyone, and he'd helped me tell my best friend. So I told her about him. I told her everything about him and how I wanted to meet him, because at this point we talked about meeting up. We talked about me going over there or him coming over to me. He talked about flying over to somewhere else in Europe and then getting a plane from there to the UK, or for me to meet him there. Either or, we'd looked into that. I'd looked into flights there, and we decided that I was gonna go there because it was cheaper, and we were gonna get an Airbnb and he was gonna help me find one. Yeah. So basically I was planning on going there, about to book the flights, about to book everything, and then he sent me a Snapchat one night of him in a taxi or a cab in New York, just going across Brooklyn Bridge, I think. And I was like, cute, cool. So I texted him the next day. He didn't reply. I was like, okay, this is normal. It might just take a little while. So I give it a while, and he just didn't reply. Like, it'd been a week at this point. I had a very important test that I was about to sit. All I could think about was something had happened to him. I was really worried that something had happened, because the last thing I got from him was this Snapchat of him on a freaking taxi on his own in Brooklyn Bridge, and I was like, what the heck has happened? Is he okay? What is going on? I freaked out. I was panicking. I was so upset. I was like, have I done something wrong? I sat overanalyzing every single thing I said to him. Every single thing over and over again, reading through everything I said. I was like, have I done something wrong? Did I go too far? Did he not want to hear something that I said? I was like, no, none of this. But like, I couldn't, obviously the type of person I am, I put all the blame on me, and I was like, it's not my fault. I did something wrong. What has happened? So anyways, I ended up taking that test. My mind wasn't clear at all. I completely failed that test. I just cried. I was walking around London just crying and crying because everything had just come full circle, like boom. I was like, oh. So anyways, I was devastated. I cried for 2 weeks because I didn't know what the heck had happened to him, and I just didn't move from bed. I didn't really eat. That is my fault for falling too deep, but he's the one that said all this stuff to me. I didn't say as much back to him, and we were so close and he'd helped me on such an emotional journey that I'd let him get that deep. So it is my fault, and this is my warning to you, don't let things get that deep. Anyways, the next text I sent him was at Christmas, wishing him and his family a great Christmas. No reply, obviously. So, it gets to February of the next year, so he disappeared in the November. Gets to February, I was just starting to forget about him. Okay? And this bitch freaking sends me a text thanking me for the Christmas text and apologizing for it being so late. Oh girl, what? Like, I didn't know what to say. I was like, what the heck? He'd left me worrying for this long and not replied to me. And then he replies to this 2 months later. Like, what the heck? I don't understand what happened there. I replied saying, let me check what I replied because I don't want to get this wrong. But I was just shocked. I was really like, oh my gosh, thank God, he's good. I really like him. Oh my gosh, he's back talking to me. I was like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. He's out of my league. And this is like my first kind of interaction with a guy. So this doesn't help if it matters. Let's be honest there, because your first one's always like, oh my gosh, I'm infatuated, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. I found the text so that I can make sure everything is factual and precise. So, let's call him Aaron, remember. He'd replied to the Merry Christmas text saying, thank you, sorry for the extremely late response. Girl, extremely late? I think we're beyond that, honey. I replied the next day, I left it a good while, saying, hey, you gonna explain what happened or we gonna call it quits here? Is what I replied, because I was like, this needs to not happen. I'd messed up so much because of him, I can't have it happening again. So he replied saying, you're right, I do owe you an explanation. I had a bit of family stuff happen over the past few months, so I kind of went incognito. He said his grandpa passed and he just kind of unplugged. He was the closest man to him, so he didn't know how to deal with it. I obviously fell into this. He was guilt tripping me. He was trying to put this on me. Okay? Anyways, I know I should have let you know, but I didn't even connect with my own friends here and I just didn't respond to anyone. I truly do apologise, and just so you know, I thought about you quite frequently. Does anyone see the manipulation there? And I do now, looking back on it. But I didn't then. Not an excuse, he sends in a second text. I should have let you know, I've just never lost someone as close to me as he was. Close myself to pretty much everyone, my mum even threatened to fly to get me. I do hope to speak with you again sometime soon. I was like, I'm sorry to hear this, I wish I could have been there for you. I would like to talk again, but I want to know how you're feeling now. He said I definitely should have been more communicative. For sure, honey, really queen.
Really, queen?
I'm feeling much, much better. Things are getting better, which is nice. And then he talks about how he should have reached out, talks about us. He says he's open to things. I said about him disappearing, said, I think that's totally fair. I know that I disappeared and that was totally not okay. Of course. He freaked out, climbing up was not the best move, usually isn't. A talk is needed and you deserve my honest opinion. And this was talking about a call, and he was like, I'd be willing, I think a call would be great, when works for you. Honey, I was like, let's do it. He suggested a time today. I was like, awesome, let's do it. He was like, I'm heading home from work early today, so I may be able to talk in the next few hours if that works. I was like, awesome. And then I get a text really later saying, so much for leaving the office early. Haha, just leaving now, I think it's quite late there. Let's maybe plan on tomorrow. I'm not doing anything all day. Okay, I believe him. I get a text the next day. Sorry, had a friend visiting and had to entertain her until she left. Lol. Let's plan on tomorrow. Bitch! Is it gonna keep going on tomorrow? I fall into it. Nothing else. That is... He disappeared again. He just completely disappeared again. And me, being the naive person I was, fell into this horrible spiral of being like, what have I done wrong now? Why? Was I too harsh with him because he disappeared? I should have been more caring about his family matters. I don't even know if any of them family matters are true. But girl, we ain't done there. This continues. Flash forward to June. I think I might have put this in the start of the video, but I messaged him. I was in America. I was like, hello, I'm not sure what happened. I'm not mad about anything. It'd be cool to meet up as friends and just talk things through and clear the air and blah, blah, blah. I realized that you had a boyfriend. I figured that out from his social media. Oh, by the way, when he ghosted me, he blocked me on social media. And I wonder why he did that. That I realised at the time that it disappeared because he had a boyfriend. And he hadn't told me this. And I would have been completely fine if he told me this. No worries at all. But instead, he comes flying back around to make me stay just enough time to make him feel like he's not lonely, or he can get anyone he wants, or he can manipulate people anytime he wants. And I feel like he's done this to more than just me. Just saying. But I said that to him. I was like, I understand that you had a boyfriend. It's fine. I didn't say this in the other video. I was like, let's just hang when I get in. He was like, hey, let me start by apologising. I was going through a lot a few months back, and I can sometimes deal with adversity by just shutting down.
Really, Queen?
Does anyone hear the same thing as before? Huh? Damn. Like, I'm very to hear that I've helped you through things, because I said about the stuff he'd helped me through. And he says you have done the same for me, because that's the kind of relationship we had. I realised I have to learn new ways to deal with my struggles. I was casually seeing someone, but it's no longer a thing. Remember that quote. Remember that quote. And then he was talking about what he's doing in the future. He's like, but I'd love to see you when you're in NYC. Meeting up in person would be amazing. Where you staying when you're in town? We talked. He was talking about his favourite parts of the city. Blah, blah, blah. We were talking just like normal. And he was talking about he loves where he lives. He's like, let's meet up on the Friday. Blah, blah, blah. We talk about that. It's all cool. We talked for a while, actually. Okay, next thing I know is he sends me a message saying, oh crap, I forgot. My friend just messaged me. We're going to a Sam Smith concert.
Really, Queen?
That night. I was like, okay. Girl, this was at Madison Square Garden, which is where our freaking bus dropped us off right outside, right at the time the concert was happening, with the lights going on. I was like, oh girl. I just want to go in there and be like, ugh. And also this text happened to, come from a certain someone that I believed was his boyfriend previously, that he said was over. Okay, you are remembering that. Okay, good. He sends me a video from the concert. He sends me the screenshot of the text message between them two with him reminding them. And I thought, they are both in this together. This is just manipulative. And I was like, but I don't care. It's fine. Whatever. Carry on. This is where we get to the point of the My First Kiss story, which we talked about meeting up, we rearranged, and it ended up happening. That's all in the video about me not thinking he's gonna turn up. So go check out my first kiss video, because that comes next in the series of events, and then I'll do a part 2 of the story time where things get extra juicy. So basically the moral of this story is don't let people get under your skin before you know who they really are. If people ghost you, just let them go. They ain't worth it. They trash, okay? But you'll realise how trash they are in part 2, because if you think any of this is juicy, or the first kiss story, prepare your asses, because they're about to explode. The tea is freaking hot, and you should be prepared. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Comment down below how excited you are about the next part of the series and what you think is gonna happen. Make sure to share this video with your friends and subscribe. Also check out my merch, represent.com/store/LeroyFurry. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter, Leroy30. But other than that, hope you have the best day. Bye! Ugh, this makes me remember how much I hate that piece.